Welcome after a while. This is episode 10. Today we will cover many things together. I will show you an Inpainter, upscaler, and new text-to-image workflow at once. And these three will be used for our generations. Time to start. So I thought a lot recently. If we can make our great image without a LoRa, and about competing new models like SEEDVR2, so Flux, SRPO, or any other model still looks not good enough. Even SRPO has that restricted license. After all, I decided to make a workflow without any LoRa involved. It seems to me it succeeds. We have only low noise model itself, a text encoder, and VAE. I am using Q6 low noise in particular. It is fast, but you know it is your preference. You can use Q8 or better. So here we have prompt positive. You should put your prompt here. Make sure it is long but balanced with the background prompt. 50 words, main subject, and the other 50 for the background, for example. That way you'll get less background blur. And here we have steps set to 30. Our model is struggling on first steps, but after a few it gets faster. So in my test you can use 20 and 30. I will prefer 30 here. Width and height is set to 720p, which is more prompt adherent setup. Also in their documents, it is said that the dataset for the image is 10 times larger than the video. It's the idea before I made previous workflow. But balancing high and low noise is somehow really hard. So, the last image was the image you should save. After that, I put you another setup that uses unsampler to give more details. I suggest you to try and wait until the end. I will always use this output as a side note. So the reason for using it is not really simple. The model is trained on specific resolution. Regular latent upscale was not really effective. I used Ultimate SD Upscaler, but it removed the details because of the upscale model itself. In conclusion, I want to change the image without changing the resolution itself. It also trying to correct the mistakes, and it changes the image at all. But an upgraded version of it. It fixes that plastic skin look, even though we don't really have that now. After this first pass done, I put another one with latent upscale. It is making change more significantly, uses the same setup, and get it to final image. Eventually, we have those images, and comparers to see which looks better. This is the workflow we will use without any LoRa involved. So let's get into another workflow, which is Inpaint and Outpaint. So, our great Inpainter was filled dev before, now rules changed a little bit. We have Qwen Image Inpainting ControlNet, and it is great. Even though Qwen Image itself without a LoRa has this variation problem, we can use it as an Inpainter. I think you are familiar with 8 steps LoRa. Normally it will take much time, but 8 steps is an improvement. Next to it there is a LoRa disabled. It is original LoRa that Qwen team brought. It is optional, and I do not recommend using it with higher resolutions. It gets stuck on sampler. But you can use it with low resolutions. Down there we have Load Image. You should open Mask Editor and mask the area you want to change. After you mask the area, click Save. Near the load image, there is an image scale to max. It is resizing the image if your input is large. We have one single rule here. If it's higher than 2000 pixels we enable, otherwise we disable this. There is of course a reason behind this 2000 pixels. What we are trying here is to not lose the input quality. I mean we want 2000 pixels in painting. It is better to push the limits. I will show you the order to make our image gen and editing without losing that much quality in the future. Here we have image blur. Remember the EP4. If we increase this, it will blend better. But it is the case if we really want it to blend with the original. So default will be 1. Notice that mask is sharper when it is 1. Upside, we have LCM sampler with daemon, like old times. LCM is more fit for Qwen image model characteristic. So, after all this, you should put your prompt in positive. I will show you more examples to test with at the end of the video. After the upscaler workflow. Even though I put an absurd and maybe hard for a model knowledge, it did a great job. The adaptation with the original is important here. Notice that we did not use crop stitch here. Stitching is not always a fit for the model. This is not stitching, but blending with the original. So let's get into the outpainting part. Really similar, but with some small differences. The one and only difference here is the pad image node. You should choose how you want to enlarge your image. Also, we have here image scale to max. Again, it is for resizing. In my tests, we shouldn't push over 1500. We will be playing it around 1500 and 2000. The prompt we are using for the outpaint is called the photo. It is making it automatically, but you can also choose to prompt manually for various purpose. Let's get right into the result comparison of one example. Here, you can see it enlarges the image smartly. This is the purpose of outpainting, and the end of our second workflow. Now it is time to see the upscaler, which you should know its existence, and the installation. This is a basic setup for generation, block swap, and extra args to save VRAM. We are turning on all the options here to get rid of out of memory, so that everyone can use it. You load your image and get the output image. There is no prompt. Here you can see a list of GGUF models. 3B and 7B models here. Normally it will download automatically when you run the workflow. We will be choosing 7B with Q4 quantization. We will be making batch size to 1 because it is an image, and new resolution is the shortest size of the upscaled image. I'll talk about in detail a bit later. Now we have problem with the installation. Normally this GGUF node does not exist. We have to git clone the repo. So to install it, first you should go to the GitHub link that I gave you, and then click code and copy the link. After that, open the Comfyui custom nodes folder. Click the search bar and type CMD. Now be sure you are in custom nodes, type git clone and Ctrl-V to paste the link. You can also download a zip file and put the file in custom nodes. It is same. I have already installed it. Here it should be folder after you done it. Now get back to Comfyui. Open the manager and click install missing custom nodes. Search for SEEDVR. The import should be failed. Click try fix. After that, restart the Comfyui. The GGUF node should come now. We are installing it this way because the original repo doesn't have the GGUF node. The owner said it to be added, but for now, we don't have that. If you get error while running it, the last thing you can do is to update the Comfyui and Python dependencies, but it will ruin the existing settings. So be aware before running this. That was the installation part. Now, time to enjoy. Here, the basic workflow is great. The new resolution is set to 2496, which is the 3 times of the short side from the input image. That is the thing you should adjust. Here you can see the difference is massive. Plus, it is not really changing the consistency. Every detail is related to the input. Now, I will show you a comparison so that you can see the difference. So it is worth to try really. Even phase from distance is not really a problem. Now this workflow will be named regular in our folder. I will show you one more. It is with TTP. It's like more time efficient, I think. Let's have a look. We have first this 1 megapixel node. I explain the case here. If your input is larger than 1 megapixel, I suggest you to enable it. If it is already 1 megapixel or 720p for example, just disable it. Next to that node we have upscale image by. Default will be set to 3. That means 3x upscale every tile and the image. So it is pretty much it. Rest of the nodes are simple. This workflow, save VRAM and time mostly. Last thing to say is that you can try other quantized models depends on your PC. The model will be downloaded automatically to your models folder. Still, I will give you the necessary links to see and follow. If you don't get installation problem, it is a win situation. Now it's time to keep my promise, showing some examples about the Inpainting workflow. So the first one, I masked the text on the box and prompt was text called buttery candle on the box. This is what Inpaint do. It's useful compared to doing this on Photoshop. That's why we are here, to save time. Another one, changing the existing object with another, prompt was red apple, and masked area is the candle. This one, prompt was thumbs up woman hands. We are pretty much able to do many things. Next one, the prompt was people crossing the road. It's realistic. The last one, adding another car to the road. You can guess the prompt, I guess. Before we are leaving, let me tell you my future plans. You know that we did many things even though it is 10 episode. Mostly realistic perspective. I think we can test the new Quen image edit model and also the human migration we can do with maybe WAN 2.2 animate. New models are great. We need to adapt the change while not forgetting the old. So, between episode 10 and 20, I am planning to make various concepts like fashion, e-commerce products, and more to help building brand-like images. LoRa training will be essential for the consistent character and will be a topic in the future. But you know, it's just plans as long as I have time to do it. Thank you for watching this. Hope to meet with another.